What's up, everybody? Welcome to Seoul, South Korea. We're here in Olympic Park, home to the 1988 Summer Olympics, and this weekend, the 2014 World Championship semifinals.
Today we sit down with Pon and Uzi to talk about their road to the finals.
Yeah, plus we have All Chat, the Penta, World Trivia, and the last hit from the Prophet.
So don't go AFK, because the 2014 World Championship semifinals preview show goes live right now.
Finally in Korea here.
What's about to happen is anyone's guess.
They're looking to be number one. And it looks like Uzi's gonna stay alive. OMG, have done it.
Go for the Nexus Sunday. They're coming. They're gonna do it. The Nexus is alive. They're cleared it. Samsung Blue have held on.
Welcome to the World's Preview Show. We're inside the Olympic Gymnastics Arena in Seoul, Korea, which will be the setting for the 2014 League of Legends semi-finals. I am Trevor Quickshot Henry, along with the crew of this World's Preview Show, starting with shoutcaster and analyzer, Mr. David Freak Turley. Next up, the evil genius's finger snapper, Mitch Crepo Forspils, the man who picks up everything twice, Yiliang Double Lift Ping, and of course, on-game netcaster and Korean aficionado, Christopher Monty Cristo Michaels. Guys, thank you for being here. Welcome to Seoul, except for Monty, in which case, welcome home.
Hey, thanks. It's good to be back.
Well, the crew behind us are finishing up the preparations for this final knockout stage, so let's take a look at what lies ahead this weekend. The first semi-final matchup takes place on Saturday and features the Korean clash between two teams from the same organization, Samsung White versus Samsung Blue.
And then on Sunday, it's a revenge rematch between the Chinese teams when Starhorn Royal Club faces OMG. Royal Club knocked OMG out of the World Championship last year in the quarterfinals, and now they meet again in the semis.
Yeah, and just a note, the teams in the two matches flipped a coin to determine starting sides last week in Busan. Samsung Blue and Starhorn Royal Club won those tosses, so they get to choose which sides they start on in games 1, 3, and 5. Both teams have chosen blue sides for all 3 games. Their opponents also had the choice of their side in games 2 and 4 and also opted for blue.
Right, so they're just going to go back and forth throughout the matches. And of course, those games will start at 10 a.m. Central European Summer Time, which is 1 a.m. Pacific on both Saturday and Sunday. So set your alarms or just visit the website for all the details. You can also head over to watch.lolesports.com and check out the games in 15 different languages, along with real-time stats and tweets from pros for a triple buff viewing experience.
That's definitely how I prefer to watch the stream when I do. We've got a lot of ground to cover, so let's get right to it. Our first semi-final match features a clash of Koreans and a family feud as Samsung White takes on Samsung Blue. Samsung White entered the quarterfinals as the number 2 team from Korea, but as we have been saying throughout Worlds, they have looked more like the number 1 team. They faced the number 1 North American LCS squad, TSM, in a best-of-5 that most people expected White to dominate.
And after the 2 quick victories from games 1 and 2, it kind of looked like that thriller that most people were expecting. But the North Americans actually made it a bit more of a difficult trip. TSM pushed back in game 3, pressured all the lanes, and finally won a game against a Korean squad for the first time in the team's history. But of course, White responded rather nicely in game 4. Imp picked up his second pentakill at Worlds, and by the end of that game, Imp had 10 kills, Pon had 9 kills, and the Koreans had earned that trip into the semifinals.
Yeah, and in last week's second quarterfinal series, Samsung Blue faced the number 2 North American team, Cloud9. After a stunning upset by Cloud9 in game 1, Blue responded in the next 2 games, shutting down High's Mission Impossible and controlling the map. By the end of game 3, they looked like they had fully recovered from C9's initial victory and were ready to head into the semi-finals.
But in game 4, Cloud9 proved they wouldn't go down without a fight, which led to one of the most exciting moments of the quarterfinals. 32 minutes in, gigantic gold lead for Samsung Blue, but C9 got picks on Adade, Deft, and Acorn at the same time. They pushed into Blue's base and brought the Nexus down to 30% health before Samsung Blue fully respawned, killed the rest of C9's members, and then pushed all the way back across the map into the base and secured their spot in the semifinals.
Yeah, incredibly exciting end to this series. And with that Game 4 win, the number 1 team from Korea now faces their most difficult test yet at Worlds, Samsung White, a team they've had the upper hand against during the season. Monty, which matchup are you looking at in this series, and what's going to be the key focus?
I think you have to talk about the AD carries in this series. Of course, both Imp and Deft have put out standout performances, and really, they're kind of each of them is kind of the quintessence of their team's style. We have Deft, who's put out games with over 50% of his team's damage to champions. We've had Imp with his big flashy pentakills, his big playmaking ability on champions like Twitch. And so we have that very strong lane presence with Imp, and we have that very strong team fight presence with Deft. So a little bit of a kind of opposite ends of the spectrum.
Yeah, and coming into quarters, it was really like everyone expected Imp and Deft to have very different playstyles, but it seems like they have a lot more similar than people gave them credit for to begin with. Imp struggled against Wild Turtle just like Deft struggled against Sneaky. They're both signature champions. The champion that they have the highest proficiency on seems to be Twitch. They both explode in team fights, but yeah, they had kind of a weak laning phase in the quarters. So yeah, they're a lot more similar than I had expected.
And for me, with the AD carries being a bit similar, the matchup I care about a little bit more is the jungle matchup there between Dandy and Spirit. Dandy, for the last 18 months, has been probably the best jungler in the world. He's one of the big stars of Samsung White, incredible player overall. He will get in your mind, he will counter jungle you, and he's incredible, and he's been at the top of his game for pretty much forever. Spirit, though, hasn't been part of that conversation, I think, until very recently. I think he's had a killer tournament so far, especially in the quarterfinals against C9. I think he can not only dethrone Dandy and maybe take the spot as best jungler in the world, but also he can single-handedly win his team the game, because Samsung Blue, if they get any kind of lead at 20 minutes, 90% of the time, they just win the game from that. And if for once in his life, basically, Spirit can beat up on Dandy, this is Samsung Blue's series.
Do you agree with that, Double F? I know we were talking about these two junglers off air. Care to chime in?
Yeah, so I think jungle is a really great position to carry from, and Dandy and Spirit just kind of embody that so well. They control the pace of the game, and especially from the jungle position, as soon as you get a lead, you can impact the map instantly. Whereas if you're winning mid lane or bottom lane, it kind of takes a while for you to snowball that roam. You have to set up vision, you have to come back to lane with more items, but these guys just know exactly instantly. They'll pressure the map and control it.
See, we've been talking a lot about matchups so far, but I want to take a broader look at the game and talk about picks and bans. If we see how White lost their match against TSM, that was basically them becoming overconfident in pick and ban phase. While if you look at Blue, their mistakes were more gameplay related, and they actually had a solid draft phase. So I'm looking forward to how this plays out, as well as the fact that they're sister teams. So they know each other for a while already. And have they adapted? Have they practiced against each other recently? How is this going to play out?
Well, and if we talk about that, I think we have to look at the historical pick and ban as well coming in here. Because if you look at the last semifinal, yeah, Twitch was a big contested pick there as well. Blue was either first picking it on Blue's side or just banning it out. But White was having to ban out some of Dade's signature champions. That Zed, that Yasuo had to be banned out every single game. That gave White very limited flexibility in terms of their strategies. Now Pawn is much more comfortable on both of those champions. And if we look at pick and ban this tournament, Blue has been just banning pretty much every single game, Alistar and Zilean every time. So I think that the shift that we're seeing from the last time these two teams met in a best of 5 till now is that we are going to have a much better drafting phase for White compared to Blue. That combined with their early game dominance, I think is going to give them a leg up, even if they're a little bit behind in terms of late game strategy. And I expect White to start focusing on Spirit because he has had a really good tournament, but he's not the same quality of Rengar player that Dandy is. You take away the Lee Sin and the Kazakhs, I think that White will have a good time.
Well, we'll have to find out how that does pan out. Before that, though, let's check in with Jat as he sits down with Samsung White's mid laner, Pawn.
Thank you, Quickshot, and of course I am joined by Pawn from Samsung White here in the wonderful city of Seoul, Korea. Thanks for joining me, Pawn. The first question I have for you is, I hear you play an absurd amount of solo queue. What drives you to play so much solo queue?
새벽에 그냥 할 일도 없고 연습한다고 생각하고 엄청 많이 해왔고 지금도 엄청 많이 하고 있어요. 그냥 연습한다고 생각하고.
And with all that practice, you've obviously been able to make it to Worlds. What has been your favorite moment of Worlds thus far?
TSM과의 경기에서 제가 한번 비역순 선수를 솔로킬 냈을 때 그때가 가장 좋았던 것 같아요.
You've actually solo killed a lot of mid laners, yet you're still kind of known as a passive laner. Why do you think that is, and how do you get so many solo kills on famous mid laners?
일단 사릴 때는 사릴 줄 알고 적극적일 때는 적극적일 줄 알고 있고요, 제가. 그리고 솔로킬을 여러 번 딴 거는 운이 좀 따랐던 것도 있는 것 같아요.
Yeah, very humble, actually. And now you guys actually have to face Samsung Blue, really the only team that's been able to beat Samsung White for the past very long time. Why have you guys not been able to take down Samsung Blue?
형제팀이기 때문에 내전은 언제나 결과가 모르는 거잖아요. 그래서 승패를 알 수 없어서 저희가 많이 졌던 것 같고, 이번에는 저희가 엄청 많이 연습해서 블루팀을 좀 쉽게 이길 수 있을 것 같아요.
And your opponent in that Samsung Blue match will be Dade, the player you actually took the place of on Samsung White. What is it like playing against Dade knowing you're on his former team?
딱히 생각이 드는 건 아니고 저희 팀을 2번이나 이겨왔기 때문에 그냥 무조건 이겨야 되는 팀으로 생각하고 다대 형도 그중 한 명으로 생각하고 하고 있어요.
Knowing that the only team you've lost to in the past 6 months plus is Samsung Blue, if you were able to beat them in the semifinals, what do you think your chances are of winning the entire World Championship?
저희 팀이 삼성 블루를 이긴다면 우승할 확률은 한 70-80% 정도 되는 것 같고요.
Thank you very much, Pon. It's been a pleasure talking to you. But for now, let's send it back to Quickshot and the guys for more on Saturday's series.
Thank you very much, Jat. Looking forward to seeing those two do battle in the mid lane. Now we've broken down the matchup and heard from one of the players. It doesn't really take a prophet to know what is coming next. Guys, I'm going to ask the panel for some predictions. Let's keep this fairly brief. Freak, who's going to win and why?
I'm going to say Samsung White. I think they are kind of the strongest team here in this tournament. We've been talking about that a lot. The one caveat I will give, though, is you keep saying, yeah, you know, they're really strong, but they're having an easy road so far. And so they have these, like, really bad pick and ban phases, these really silly invades, these really bad choices. And we're like, well, they're just hiding everything. If they're actually, though, making these mistakes for real, then I'm concerned about these guys. As unlikely as that is, I mean, they failed last year, right?
Absolutely. It could happen again.
Big thoughts. Crepo.
I think White actually is going to take this series 3-1, and it will be slightly convincing. I think they've had time to fix their problems, look at Blue, analyze their mistakes, and just take the series.
I'm actually secretly rooting for both teams. I'm a pretty big fan. It's going to be a fantastic and a really close series, but if I had to pick one, I would give White by just a hair.
Yeah, as I said in previous series, I think that pick and ban phase has been the decider. So I think the pick and ban phase combined with the strong early game will overcome the good rotations. I can't believe I just said that. But Samsung White 3-2 for me.
Well, Samsung White unanimous according to the analysts. Before we move on to the second semi-final matchup, let's hear from Samsung White's fantastic bottom lane duo of Imp and Mata, who some call the best in the world.
안녕하세요. 삼성 화이트의 보티오를 맡고 있는 임프. 까먹어. 안녕하세요. 삼성 화이트의 안녕하세요. 삼성 화이트의 바텀 듀오를 맡고 있는 임프. 마타. 보티오예요.
루퍼가 오히려
이거 안 해도 돼. 싸우자. 입고 그냥 와봐. 싸우자.
저희는 삼성 화이트 보티오인데 좀 욕먹는 듀오예요. 제가 까이고 마태 형은 추앙받는 신급 서포터. 인프는 아마 기억 못할 거예요, 처음 왔을 때. 네, 제가 처음에 딱 숙소 들어갔는데 다 도와주고 있는데 혼자 자고 있더라고요. 그래서 제가 아직 계정은 없구나 좀 이런 생각도 많이 했어요.
저한테 맞는 서포트를 되게 찾기 힘들었거든요. 다 저랑 하는 거 힘들어하고.
지금 생각해보니까 인프랑 했던 서포터들 고생 많이 한 것 같긴 한데 그냥 실력이 못 미쳐서 커버를 못했던 것 같아요.
하나, 둘, 셋.
언제부터 손발이 잘 맞았냐고요? 처음에는 손발 안 맞았어요. 지금도 안 맞아요.
예전 같은 경우에는 좀 공격적인 성향이어가지고 이 타이밍에는 좀 안 싸워줬으면 좋겠는데 하는 부분이 많거든요. 근데 요즘에는 좀 오히려 인프가 계산적이어가지고 제가 별말 안 해도 편하죠.
지금 저희가 엄청 오래 했잖아요, 듀오가. 지금 전 세계적으로 제일 오래 했을걸요? 1년 6개월.
4개월?
6개월이요. 약간 말 안 해도 서로 어떻게 할지 다 아는 그런. 실제로 봐야 하시는데, 이건. 원딜의 패기를 보여드리겠습니다. 이걸로 팬들의 마음에 강타!
조용히 하고 빨리 타.
잠깐만요. 하나, 둘, 셋! 이거 나미 같지 않아요, 나미? 당연히 우승이죠. 저희는 세계 최강의 바텀 듀오니까.
저번에도 그 소리 했다가 강탈했거든요. 그래도 이번에는 조별 예선부터 뚫고 얘기하고 싶어요.
저 베인 해도 돼요? 왜 잘하잖아요, 저 베인. 인프 베인 하면은 세계 최고인데. 저 이시 하면 안 돼. 이시 잘하잖아요. 아, 저 이시 잘해요.
어제 연습할 때 애쉬 안 좋다고 막 욕하던데.
팀도 속이는 치밀함. 승리의 비결이죠. 이번 롤챔에서 세계 최강의 보티오 타이틀을 거머쥘 인프? 해봐요.
인프 하트.
인프 바타 보티오 에어. 형, 한번 말해봐요. 몇 점이었어요? 100점?
80점.
80점이요? 왜 80점이에요? 형이 원딜한 몇 점인데요?
20% 부족하다, 20%.
형이 원딜한 몇 점인데요?
내가 하면 90점이지.
형이 내려놔, 빨리. 그래도 80점짜리여도 이번 월챔, 네, 잘하겠죠?
아, 월챔은 100점짜리 해야지.
I guess when it matters, Impin is easy. Now, let's turn from arguably the best bottom lane in the world to some of the smartest fans in the world, you guys. Last week, we asked you to hit us up on Twitter with the players who tied for the most deaths at last year's Worlds, and you guys killed it. The answers were SKT's Pumandu and Royal Club's Tabe with 48 deaths apiece. 127 of you tweeted the right answer, which means that once again, we need to scroll through your names like movie credits through a J-Skate, and if Tabe were here, he would probably sing your praises. It is time for this week's World Trivia question, and if 127 of you get it right, Freak, I'll sing to you personally. As we look forward to the finals, the question is which player secured the fastest first blood in World's finals history, and what was the time?
So be sure to hit us up at LOL Esports, use the hashtag Worlds Preview, and although with Quickshot making puns now and also promising to sing, we'll be lucky to even get 127 tweets at all, let alone 127 correct answers. But yeah, if you want to.
We'll see. So to help cleanse your audible palate, we have a delightful treat for your ear holes as we listen in on one of the closest games in World's history. It's Cloud9 versus Samsung Blue, featuring the Nexus that wouldn't die in this edition of World's All Chat.
Can I catch this guy somehow? I'm coming.
이거 바로 가져야 돼.
Nice. He doesn't have flash. Got him. Get this guy. Ringer, push. Can we end? Maybe. 40 seconds. Push. See what happens. Push as fast as we can. Push as fast as we can. I'm pretty sure we can end. As long as we don't kill ourselves.
I'm taking.
Nice. Yep. I'm ignoring him.
몸으로 비워서라도 막아야 돼.
20 seconds. It's just only Ringer.
Yeah, 20.
Take one turn. Yeah, we're going for it. Flash the bubble.
Ignore. 시간 끌어 15초.
No, turn. No, we can't end it.
Turn. Kill spirit.
Yeah, run. No. Right? Yeah. 6 seconds.
잠깐만, 3초. 2초.
It's a good try. 미친.
미쳤다.
잘했다.
Fantastic end to the series, and just some indecisive calls from Cloud9 there. All right, it is time for us to shift our focus to the second semi-final match, and it features another clash between teams from the same region as China's Starhorn Royal Club takes on their LPL rivals OMG. Royal Club advanced to the semi-finals after a hard-fought victory over the top-ranked Chinese squad Edward Gaming. It was the closest of the 4 quarter-final series as Starhorn Royal Club and Edward Gaming went blow for blow and went the full 5 matches.
They are led by Uzi's incredible Twitch mechanics and 18 kills. Starhorn Royal Club locked down the first 2 matches, but Edward Gaming battled back with the bloodiest game of the world so far with 54 total kills in Game 3, and then took another victory to force a Game 5. However, Royal Club recovered and took down Edward Gaming in the longest bout in that series and finally secured their spot in the semifinals. And by advancing, Starhorn Royal Club now has a chance to be the first team in league history to make it to the World Championship Finals twice.
And we'll see if they can do that. Standing in their way of history, however, is OMG. And in the last quarterfinal series, the Chinese team stunned by crushing a Korean squad in the only 3-0 series of the quarterfinal round. Only Freak and Doublelift had their heads in the cloud supporting OMG's victory, and that makes OMG only the second team to take down a Korean team in a best-of series at Worlds, although the Taipei Assassins did manage to do it twice before them.
Of course, the last-minute roster swap of Cloud for Dada777 at support paid off huge for the team. Cloud racked up a 12.0 KDA and 47 assists during their three-game sweep of Najin Shield. And of course, you compare that to Dada's 40 assists and 1.95 KDA in twice as many games in the group stage. You can see Cloud's been pretty freaking awesome. But the real star for OMG in the quarterfinals was actually their top laner, GoGoing. Led by his incredible 24 kills in 3 games, OMG looked more unstoppable than a Malphite ultimate on their way to advancing into the World Semi-Final for the first time in team history.
Yeah, all right, guys. Now that we've recapped how the teams got here, let's take a look at how they need to do one more step to move into the finals. Doublelift, which lane are you going to be looking at and watching on Sunday?
Oh, man, you have to watch the top lane because I feel like that's the biggest discrepancy. Kola really struggled against EDG. You saw that the 2 games they lost to EDG, actually, Kola just got crushed straight up by Korra, 1v1. There was jungle pressure, yes, but Kola just crumbled under pressure, where GoGoing seems to be the best top laner in the whole tournament so far. So there's just such a big difference there. I hope Kola can step up.
And what matters to me as well is throughout this tournament, we have the sort of perceived power of the player and how they're actually performing at Worlds. Because if you think back to just the regional qualifier, actually, Kola did fine against GoGoing. He actually solo killed him in Game 2 in the top lane. So if they play like that, then Royal Club are fine. If Kola keeps playing like he was in the quarters, then it's a very different animal.
However, like what I want to look in particular for that matchup is the Ryze pick or ban, because GoGoing showed how smart he is in that pick, and I don't want him to see that ever again. Same side on bottom lane, I don't want people to get Janna every game because Janna has such an incredible win rate right now. If you look at the bottom lane even more and just like in a broad kind of spectrum, Sana and Cloud have been doing well, and I don't think they'll lose their lane as hard against Uzi and his support as hard as they did in the last series. So that's definitely, if that matchup stays even, OMG has a real shot at taking a series.
Yeah, for me, I would like to look at the jungle right here because Insec and Loveling, we have seen just Insec has been consistently a playmaker for Starhorn Royal Club throughout Worlds so far. And he stepped up big on that Lee Sin and Rengar. But in the quarterfinals, Loveling, who had kind of an inconsistent group stage, was just there all 3 games, and he played that Rengar. He did great on it, made a lot of plays on that Lee Sin. And for me, you know, we've got these big carries on these teams. We have GoGoing up in the top lane. We've got Uzi down in the bottom lane. Who can get their big carry rolling early? And now that we've seen both players play these very high-pressure jungle champions, it's going to be who gets those and who can make those plays.
Doublelift, I've got a question for you. Both of these Chinese squads overperformed in the quarterfinals, I think surprising most people.
Yeah.
Is this a risk that it was showing up on the day, or have these teams leveled up their game and going to bring that into the semifinals?
I think both of them leveled up their game a bit. Honestly, I don't want to downplay OMG's 3-0 sweep, but Najin Shield really underperformed in that quarterfinals, so I think there might be some sort of overestimation of OMG's power. Starhorn Royal Club versus CDG was a lot more even, and actually their mental game seemed to be kind of broken after Game 4, but the fact that they managed to bounce back and win Game 5 is a miracle.
Well, we'll have to see how they perform in their semi-final series. Before that, though, let's head over to Riv as he chats with Starhorn Royal Club's AD carry, Uzi.
Thank you very much, Quickshot, and I am very pleased to be joined by Uzi of Starhorn Royal Club. Uzi, I got a few questions for you. You know, this being your second straight trip to Worlds, what's different this year than last year?
因为我们这次第2次来有2个韩国队员，然后 就沟通方面可能比去年更难一点。
So with this new team coming into Worlds, you guys making it again to the semifinals, what so far has been your favorite part of Worlds?
就是刚去台湾的时候吧，因为我们打小组赛的时候第一盘就差点输掉了，然后最后翻盘，让我们整个队的气势都很好。
Who is the best AD carry in the world?
我个人认为韩国队的两个三星的队伍的 ADC 都非常强，然后我自己也可以算一个吧。
If you could face one of those AD carries, as you may be, which one would it be?
我觉得两个 ADC 都非常强，如果想遇到的话，还是希望遇到三星 Blue 吧，因为我想我们可能赢他们的赢面可能会更大一点。
A little pressure that we did see was Game 4 versus EDG. After that game, you took some time on the stage to yourself. What was going through your mind?
因为我当时，因为我们先赢了2盘，后面连续输了以后，我自己的心态可能有点问题吧，然后就坐在那里想了很久，就非常的不开心嘛，因为当时因为在比赛中自己的心态没有调整好。
Did you feel like you had to take it upon yourself to carry the next game, to really be that forefront for the team and be the strength that everybody could get behind?
有感到，因为很多人都告诉我，让我不要在这个舞台上留下遗憾，而且还有另外4个队员嘛，都要为他们想。后面就听了教练的安排，然后最终就赢了，就非常开心吧。
Sunday, you face OMG. What impresses you the most about OMG?
我觉得他们的上单勾引非常的强，因为在这一次的比赛中，他的开瑞能力非常的高。
And this is your second straight trip to Worlds, and your second straight trip to the semifinals. Winning this would mean you are the first team in League of Legends history to make it to the finals twice. What does it mean for you to win, and what would it mean if you lose?
我觉得这次能够再次进入世界舞台，我就已经非常开心了。然后，我们这一次的输赢其实并没有很大的关系，因为怎样都会有一个中国队进入决赛嘛。然后，希望这次中国队能够改变 S3的成绩。
All right, Uzi, thank you very much for taking some time out of your busy schedule. Best of luck to the team in the semifinals. And right now, we're going to throw it back to Quickshot and crew to go over more of Sunday's series.
Thank you very much, Riv. Uzi obviously wants to make it to another final. All right, guys, it's time to put your expertise to the test once more, as we are going to be talking about the predictions. Freak, you correctly predicted OMG last time, so I'll start with you. Who's going to be your winner and why?
Yeah, so I do think it's going to be OMG. I think they just look completely on form right now. I think that is something that sticks throughout the tournament. If you start playing well, I think you continue to play well. OMG, the score, I'm going to guess is a 3-1 for what that's worth. I just think they are the stronger team right now.
I think last series definitely showed that OMG was on the rise, and however their opponents also played well. However, it'll be a tight series, it'll be close, but I think OMG will take this 3-2.
OMG, double lift.
I'm gonna go a bit against the grain here and go with Royal Club. Not only am I a big fan of Uzi, but I think people overestimate OMG a little bit because they sweep Najin. Honestly, I think Najin just played really poorly in that series. Starhorn Royal Club, I think, has a lot of room to grow.
Final thoughts, Monte Cristo.
Well, I'm gonna go for it here. Got my OMG jersey. I'm going for that big OMG win, 3-2. I mean, this is a team that has looked very good and looks like they're on the rise. Cloud seems to have really rejuvenated this roster. Sure, I'd like to see him play some more champions, but I know he's a great Thresh player too from watching the LPL. And I think that they're going to come out and perform. And I know, Peter, you love teams that just play around the AD carry, but buddy, there's more to League of Legends than that, and you're going to see it.
You know, Monte Cristo, I see you brought your OMG shirt all the way here. Exactly how long will you be wearing that at this tournament?
One semifinal match before they get rocked by Samsung.
Well, good to know, good to know. We'll see if they are going to be victorious. It won't be long until we find out whose predictions will come true. But right now, let's look back at the highlights from the games that sent these 4 teams into the semifinals, or as Imp can now call it again, the Penta. In the number 5 spot, we have Samsung White responding to TSM's first blood with a double kill.
On a team solo man, but White has acted on this as well. A great flash over from Lustboy, but that could be Dade, or Pawn rather, exactly what he wants. Pearson's going to get knocked away. Does they finalize the kill? The Ignite's there. The exhaust only lasted so long. Mata with a godlike hook from over the wall. to save Pawn's rear.
Right in the jungle right there, Pawn juked Bjergsen.
Number 4, Dyrus rides a lantern right into
A
Imp.
little bit farther behind than they should, but only 2,000 gold against a comp like this can be bad. What a play!
Gets the dodge though, but Dyrus is gonna be there.
This is the lantern from Lost Boy, and he times the drop. That is just beautiful. Nobody cares about this hook. It's all about stuff.
It's all that mattered.
Number 3 is a cheeky Baron steal by Najin White Shield against OMG.
Is it going to go their way? That's the question. Coming around the side, Gorilla tries to come in. Watches there. Can he get the spy? Oh, he gets it! He'll go down and pay the price, but that may well have just kept Najin White Shield in the game.
Coming in at number 2 is yet another patented team scattering inset kick.
Let's see one final battle.
It's going to be very tough. Nami can stay positioned well in this one, something that's been really hurting him a lot. He gets hit by the shockwave on that one. Then he's kicked in the positioning. Not quite right on that one.
Insect finds just the right kick on Aname, ahead of the rest of his team. Shockwave stops his dash, which enables Insect to just mess him over.
And the number 1 play from the quarterfinals is Imp's amazing second pentakill from Worlds.
Party on this one. Easy smite in for Dandy. No steals coming in. A good spread of damage coming in from Amazing.
They do get Pawn. Will they be able to lock him down? Intervention comes out nicely from Looper. Is it enough though? Wild Turtle takes down Mata. That's a double kill coming in for Imp. They start to clean up this fight, but now they're all spread out in the wrong positions. That's another answer coming in from Bjergsen, but they have lost 4 members, and he's trying to run by himself. Great Tempest. The cripple actually doesn't lock down. Bjergsen's just out of range. Woo, still trying to fight on this one, and it costs him his life. Pentakill for Imp.
That is Imp's second pentakill of the World Championship.
Hopefully you've absorbed enough information from this World's Preview Show to head into the semifinals armed with tons of knowledge. But if not, just hit the Preview Show tab at the top of lolesports.com, where you'll be able to watch it again along with all of our past episodes. Now at this point, this sound should be familiar to everyone, although the Prophet Crumbs completely missed the mark by predicting Najin White Shield over OMG. I've completely lost faith in his powers, but here he is back for our last hit.
I am the Prophet, and it gives me great heartache to know that my flock has strayed so far from the one true path, just because 2 of my prophecies were a little cloudy. I expected this from the doubting freak, the heretic Crapo, Liflit, and even the full Monty, but not you, Quickshot, not you. So, I will no longer bless the analyst desk with my presence. Instead, I shall dwell in the preview show's last hit forever. And to those of you who stood steadfast in their devotion to the Prophet, I have but one final gift to bestow upon you, the Trinity of Predictions. Samsung White will smite their brother Samsung Blue, whilst OMG will purge the championship of Starhorn Royal Club. And then, when the final 2 teams set to battle in the Promised Land, Seoul's World Cup Stadium, it has been revealed to me. Samsung White will lift high the Summoner's Cup in victory. I am the Prophet. It has been written, thus shall it be done. Let it be.